You're watching the Red Zone Sports Show on Fox 5.
This Runnin' Rebel season has played out like a soap opera.
Like sands through the hourglass, so are the days of our lives.
There have been losses and coaching changes that have turned players and fans into the young and the restless. All kinds of injuries that have made the trainer's room look more like General Hospital. Now UNLV is looking for passions to spark a guiding light, because come conference tournament time, there's only one life to live. The Red Zone is showing you the bold and the beautiful from the season and what it will take to rebuild a dynasty. No mindless fluff here. We move our storylines along, and we're doing it right now.
This is the Fox 5 Red Zone Sports Show, presented by RC Willey. Your home, your way.
Good evening. Welcome inside the Red Zone. We thank you for joining us. Kevin Bollinger alongside Runnin' Rebels interim head coach Todd Simon. Soap opera indeed this has been over the last couple of months.
Yeah, we've seen it all. And, to the guys' credit, they continue to battle through it and give their effort, and their attitude's been great. But we've seen it all.
The latest plot twist, Derek Jones Jr., that happened earlier this week. What do we know about his situation at this point right now?
Well, we're letting the process, take care of itself. There's not a lot that we can say other than, we're going through the necessary steps to, hopefully hear our side of the story on that one.
Is there any hope at all that he could be reinstated in time to play in the Mountain West tournament?
Well, obviously, time is of the essence. We've kind of done the necessary steps, and what the outcome will be is a little bit out of our hands at this point.
Is it an NCAA now decision-making process that you just have to wait and hear from them?
Correct.
In terms of his future at UNLV, as this plays out, how does this impact his future at UNLV?
Well, that's all kind of part of the situation. We got to figure out, what he needs to do in order to rectify the situation. So we're kind of in a wait-and-see mode with everything.
And in the interim, he can have no contact, essentially, with the basketball program in terms of practicing or film sessions or anything else.
Correct, yep.
All right, well, Jones did not make the trip in UNLV's only game of the week as they travel to San Diego State for a road trip to forget.
The show was out in full force, and it was senior night at Viejas Arena. Senior Winston Shepard got things started quickly for the Aztecs as he drops a wide-open three. UNLV battled early. Steven Zimmerman Jr. with the jumper. Then the steal by Ike Wamu, and he heads the other way for the reverse lay-in. The Rebels started hitting from long distance. Wamu, followed by back-to-back threes by Patrick McCaw as the Rebs had an early 14-10 lead. That's when it all fell apart. San Diego State started getting free paths to the basket. First Trey Kell, then Dakari Allen. Allen followed with a couple of triples, and this turnaround jumper by Shepard capped a 17-4 run that flipped the script on the game. McCaw tried to keep UNLV in it, hitting this runner in the lane, but the Aztecs kept rolling. Jeremy Hemsley with the three. Malik Hope knocks down the trifecta. A little pushback by UNLV late in the first. Wamu pokes the ball away, and McCaw races end-to-end for the lay-in. This play, though, epitomized the first 20 minutes. End of the first half, McCaw turns it over, and Hope slams it home. The teams went into the locker room with San Diego State up 42-27. It got worse in the second half as the Aztecs opened the half on a 14-0 run. Kell hits, what else? A tray. Then another. Winston Shepard matched him from deep, followed by Pope. UNLV tried to get something going. Wamu with the alley-oop to Zim. And McCaw with the offensive rebound for the bucket and the bump. Then the dish to Zim for the flush. A little razzle-dazzle by McCaw as he goes behind the back into the hole for the lay-in. But make no mistake, this was all San Diego State. The sweet give and go between Kellen Pope. Angelo Chol drives baseline for the lay-in. The Aztecs score a season-high 92 points, shooting 48% from the field, including 13 of 28 for three, while the Rebels shoot 30% and 4 of 29 from downtown. A rough night in San Diego as UNLV falls 92-56.
It was a tough night for us. We really weren't making shots, and they executed and jumped out on us. And I want to give credit. I want to give credit to San Diego State, for playing hard. And I'm not gonna make any excuses for this loss. We missed a lot of shots. They rebounded us in the second half. We just didn't execute how we were supposed to. We were shorthanded, but still can't make any excuses for the loss.
You only had one game this week, but there was clearly no energy with this team last night. We saw a lot of shots coming up short.
Yeah, when you play, San Diego State, you exert so much energy because of the physicality, the length, and we were a defensive emphasis and trying to run out, and then as we started to miss shots, kind of in transition, then as fatigue set in, we were really short on a lot of shots.
How concerned are you with the defense? Because they did get a lot of clear paths to the basket, and that's something obviously with teams you're going to see in the Mountain West tournament are going to take note of and maybe try and get to the hole a lot more. Yeah,
you hope with as you add a couple bodies that we're hoping to come back this week, it adds you some depth that the guys aren't necessarily worrying about, saving themselves or foul trouble or those type of things. Obviously playing San Diego State, we wanted to force them to shoot from the perimeter, and to their credit, they made 13 threes. And, them making that many shots, they can contest or compete with anybody in the country.
Seagers did not play in this game. We know he's been battling a heel injury. Was that more of wanting to make sure that he didn't re-aggravate it before the conference tournament? If it was an important game, would he have been able to go?
Well, he was pretty on the fence. He hadn't practiced the 2 days that we'd hoped that we'd have him for, and then shoot around didn't go great, and we thought it was in the best interest of him, and he wasn't really wanting to push it at that point either.
You expect him to play on Wednesday?
Yeah, we're certainly hopeful that he'll be able to go this week.
All right, we have to talk about the Brian Glenn situation, who was brought onto the team. Obviously, you guys need bodies. It's my understanding he was working at the front desk of the Win, correct?
Yeah, Brian, he's been a walk-on here, I think 3-4 seasons ago. And we know Brian, and he's around, and obviously in our situation, we're very, very short-handed. We haven't been able to practice 5-on-5 effectively most days, and so, he was able to, get the clearances he needed, and, we took the jersey off the mannequin in the lobby, and here we go. He's in the game. So
you can't make this stuff up.
It's been
make it up. That kind of year where you're taking the jersey off a mannequin just to get it on the plane and get down to San Diego. Mm-hmm. How long will it take him to give you any type of effective minutes if you need a big presence to give Steven Zimmerman a little bit of a break in a game?
Well, we got confidence in him. We've had a day of practice and a day of shoot around to kind of put a little package in there where he can take up space and help us out a little bit. But obviously we got a couple days this week that we can continue to improve guys and get them in positions to hopefully help us succeed.
Well, a little bit later on in the show, we're going to be talking with UNLV head football coach Tony Sanchez about spring practice beginning. But first, the conference tournament's upon us. We break down the Runnin' Rebels draw and what is it going to take to find a little magic. That's next as the Red Zone rolls on.
This hair-raising play of the week is brought to you by Vegas Valley Hair.
Saturday night in San Diego, Ike Wamu pokes the ball away, and that starts the break. Patrick McCaw picks up the rock, and he goes end-to-end for the lay-in. And this week's hair-raising play of the week.
You're watching the Fox 5 Red Zone Sports Show, presented by R.C. Willey. Your home, your way.
The Mountain West tournament starts on Wednesday, and to get to the NCAA tournament, UNLV is going to have to win 4 games in 4 days. A tall task for a short-handed team, and it all starts with Air Force.
The math is simple. Win 4 games and you're part of March Madness. Lose 1 and the season is over. For UNLV, the journey begins Wednesday afternoon at 1:30 as they take on Air Force. The Rebels and Falcons split their 2 games this season. UNLV winning in blowout fashion at the Thomas and Mack when the Rebels were at full strength, and losing in Colorado Springs 2.5 weeks ago when the MASH units started piling up. In that loss, the Rebels did not have a player bigger than 6'8", and they weren't able to take advantage of a size mismatch when they had Steven Zimmerman. Zim will be back for this one, which gives the Rebs an edge if they can get him some inside touches. Air Force was very animated after beating UNLV, which adds a little more juice to this game. Should the Rebels win, Fresno State is waiting in the wings for a Thursday night matchup at 6 o'clock. The Bulldogs have been consistent all season long to take the 2nd seed in the tournament. UNLV lost to Fresno in the conference opener and then fell in double overtime at the Save Mart Center in the game that Zimmerman injured his knee. The Bulldogs are extremely physical and taxing on teams, and they have Marvell Harris, one of the best in the Mountain West. If UNLV makes it to Friday, it would likely be against Boise State or Colorado State. They wouldn't play San Diego State until a potential tournament final on Saturday. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. This is one game at a time territory.
The Air Force matchups has been a tale of 2 rosters when you played them. Having Zim back for this game on Wednesday makes a big difference in what you can do.
Yeah, it's very unique to play a team 3 times and really have 3 different teams that we've kind of presented out there, which is, disadvantage but also an advantage. So, they're going to have to prepare for us just as we're going to prepare for them.
I know you guys don't like to look ahead. Should you beat Air Force, though, you do get Fresno State. Are you worried more about Marvell Harris or the physical nature that Fresno plays having to go on back-to-back nights?
Well, obviously you worry about Marvell Harris and his ability to go off at any time on the court. He's such a gifted scorer. But that we have to match that physicality, and I trust the fight in our team and that we'll be able to do that.
We already talked about Seagers. What about Dwayne Morgan with the shoulder injury? Any idea on whether he's going to be available on Wednesday?
Well, we'll know more about that tomorrow. We'll kind of see how he does. He didn't make the trip to San Diego State, and hopefully those couple extra days of rest and treatment will pay off for this week.
How do you approach this with your team? Obviously coming off a very disappointing loss in San Diego and a roller coaster type year. Are they in the mindset of new season, 4 games, and you get to experience March Madness?
Absolutely. We talked about being 0-0, and just like the rest of our league, everyone's 0-0, and we start anew this week, and you have a 1-week season, and anything can happen.
Will you know in the first 5 minutes of the first game on how this team's coming out and ready for this tournament?
Yeah, and I think I already know that we'll be ready to compete and fight, and just as they always have, and they'll continue to fight and give what they have, and hopefully we'll execute and make shots and make this an interesting run.
We are certainly looking forward to the week ahead, but we're going to switch gears up next and talk a little UNLV football. A sit-down interview with head coach Tony Sanchez as spring practice begins, plus a special announcement about the Red Zone and the spring game. We're back in 2 minutes.
You're watching the Fox 5 Red Zone Sports Show, presented by R.C. Willey. Your home, your way.
Welcome back inside the Red Zone. We're joined now by UNLV head football coach Tony Sanchez as we get ready to start spring practices, and I know you've been chomping at the bit since Thanksgiving weekend to get back out on the field.
Yeah, we really have. It's season ends, and obviously it didn't end the way we wanted it to. So you're just chomping at the bit, like you said, to get going. And Coach Bell's done a great job in the weight room getting these guys going. Continuing to work on the nutrition, the physicality of it all, and make sure we're becoming a more explosive football team. But we're excited to get back out there and bring the pigskin back out.
You guys had a great recruiting season, and a lot of those guys were able to get into classes in January and are going to take part in spring practice. How much is that an advantage for you to be able to get these guys in here early?
It really is a huge advantage. That's one of the things when you recruit junior college players. You really like them to be mid-year guys because they come on in, they get familiar with the university, they get comfortable living here, and then they also get familiar with the football aspect of it. So over those 15 practices, they're going to make plenty of mistakes, and they're going to learn. And by the time they're done with month that they're going to have a level of comfort with the program and the offense, defense, whatever system they're in that we're running. And in the fall, it'll be getting better. It won't be just learning, where, you know, a lot of those high school kids come in and they show up, and when you put the pads on, you're literally 30 days from, you know, playing your first football game, and there's a lot on their plate to get, you know, to get ready for.
The NCAA does limit how much time you can have on the field. How do you approach the schedule to make sure that you can draw this out and get the most bang for your buck?
Yeah, so, you know, you want to make sure that you're getting good quality practices. You're not, you know, completely wearing them out. You know, you want to make sure you get some good classroom time. So what we do is we'll practice Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, and Saturdays. Obviously, we have meetings and practice, and then those off days, they come on in, they get a good lift in, and then they'll go ahead and have meetings, right? So there's always going to be football classroom time in between. We'll do 7 practices, give them spring break off, get their mind off football for a minute, get them freshened up physically, and then they'll come back out for 2 weeks of Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and then that last one would be the spring game. So I think it works out good. It keeps the guys fresh mentally. It keeps them going. They get the nice spring break in the middle of it, and hopefully it's we make some big progress.
What are you looking for out of the players when you go into a spring practice?
Well, I mean, a lot of different things. Number one, an understanding of the system and how they fit within it, making sure they understand that the details are the most important thing. It's not the holistic approach. We really want to be detail-oriented. Defensively, we really have to emphasize, running to the football, tackling, creating turnovers, rushing the passer, those things that are game changers. Offensively, it's ball security, quarterbacks making quality decisions, it's creating a physical attitude out there so you're able to convert on, third and shorts and such. So there's a lot of different things. And then special teams, we'll do a lot more fundamental individual type stuff. We won't do as much group, like we won't do full kickoff and kick return. Do some of it, but most of it's going to be individual drills within those things that really start to developing those guys there and identifying who's going to really contribute.
How much is the depth chart maybe looked at determining based on what you see here, or is most of that going to come in the summer?
No, some of it will be now. I mean, obviously we go into spring and now we're familiar with our team. Obviously we got a couple new guys in, but going in there's a depth chart. I mean, now you want to give guys opportunities to compete. I mean, there are guys that are close to being ones, they're twos. Well, we want to see them run with the ones. We want to see them mix into different groups. Depth is a little easier because we're not preparing for another team, so it's us against us. So there's no real scout teams, which is always a tough thing during the football season. So we're going to be able to get a lot of reps and get a lot of guys in and do a lot of different situational type things and give our guys the ability to compete. I just think there has to be an understanding that every day when we're out there is open competition and nobody's job is safe. You got to go earn it. And once that's kind of fostered and that competitive atmosphere is created, it really elevates your team.
Well, the spring game is April 9th. We're going to be doing special editions of the Reb Zone on April 3rd and then the day after the spring game on April 10th to let you know everything going on within UNLV football. Coach, have a good spring practice, and we'll be seeing you here in the next few weeks.
Appreciate it.
All right, we'll be back to wrap up the Reb Zone right after this.
You're watching the Fox 5 Reb Zone Sports Show, presented by R.C. Willey. Your home, your way.
All right, as we wrap this up on the basketball season portion of the Reb Zone, obviously there's a lot of unknown factors with this program moving forward. How do you and the rest of the coaching staff approach recruiting and so on, not knowing if you're going to be here next year or where the direction of the program is headed?
Well, we continue to be professionals, do our jobs, and continue to sell UNLV and all the great things that are going on. And that's basically it. Continue to share our love for the university and see where it goes from there.
And it's just a waiting game for you guys after the season is over as well, correct?
No question. But we all take the same mindset that we preach to our team, that you just take it day by day and do the best we can and maintain a good attitude and effort and let things fall where they may.
Coach, thank you coming into the Reb Zone here over the last couple months under some very difficult times. We really appreciate you answering all the questions as we've gone through.
Thank you very much.
This is our last Reb Zone of the basketball season. Of course, we're going to continue to follow UNLV in the conference tournament all throughout the week on Fox 5 News. And then spring football is upon us. It starts tomorrow out at Revel Park. We will have those 2 spring football specials starting on Sunday, April 3rd, leading up to the spring game on April 9th. And then, of course, we're going to have the wrap-up of the spring practice and the game on April 10th. Thank you so much for joining us in the Reb Zone throughout the season. We're on a 4-week hiatus before we come back on the 3rd, but we leave you tonight with the Runnin' Rebels Plays of the Year. Good night.
No, I don't want to be sad. I don't want to be sad, sad, sad no more. It's been 28 days since I've seen the sunshine. 'Cause I just can't seem to lift this cloud away. I swear all the tears I've cried could fill an ocean. I've been swimming in a sea of misery. I've got a badass personality, so I just need to set it free. It starts today. I'm on my way. No, I don't want to be sad. I don't want to be sad, sad, sad no more. And I know some days will be bad, but I don't want to be sad, sad, sad no more. I don't want to be sad. I don't want to be sad. I don't want to be sad, 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 sad. I don't want to be sad. I don't want to be sad, sad, sad no more. And I know some days will be bad, but I don't want to be sad, sad, sad no more. No, I don't want to be sad. I don't want to be sad, sad, sad no more. And I know some days will be bad, but I don't want to be sad, sad, sad no more. I don't want to be sad, sad, sad no more. I don't want to be sad, sad, sad no more.
The Fox 5 Reb Zone Sports Show was presented by RC Willey. Your home, your